Hey everyone, it's Rain. Welcome to today's video. Before I get started, if you haven't checked out our Discord server, jump on that. Everyone you've seen me play with over the past few months, even years, are on it. There's a ton of channels, both voice and text, and they're all set up to help you find games to play, people to play with, and talk to along the way. We truly have an amazing community built here, and I'm excited for you to be a part of it. Link is in the description, so check that out. Welcome back to September's free-to-play coverage. This week we're covering shooters. I've been playing shooters since they were a thing. Doom, the original Doom. GoldenEye 64, I was a terror to people in that game. Perfect Dark, Unreal Tournament. All of these throwbacks are from the days of the LAN party. There was no online multiplayer. I've played just about every shooter that's been released, ever. I've always had a very personal connection to shooting games, and I still do. Gathering the content for this video wasn't a challenge at all. The three games we're looking at this week are Dirty Bomb, Planetside 2, and Paladins. Each offers a different take on the shooter, each has a different audience that they appeal to, and each have their own unique draws and hangups. All are available on Steam for free. Let's take a better look at each one. Dirty Bomb is a class-based first-person shooter that plays very similarly to Rainbow Six Siege or CSGO in some respects. As with most free-to-play games, you have a core set of available characters to choose from, and if you wish to, you can pay to speed up the unlocking of other classes. What you want to do first here is get familiar with what mercs or classes are in the free rotation in addition to the two starting classes that you automatically get. The problem that I ran into is that it's almost impossible to find a match. There are only 2,900 online players currently, whereas Team Fortress 2 has around 70,000. So let's forget about this and play the classic that is Team Fortress 2. Team Fortress 2 is also a class-based shooter that has inspired companies like Blizzard and Hi-Rez to make Overwatch and Paladins, and likely countless others. TF2 has been owning the class shooter or hero shooter market for years, until other people decided to start into it as well. What you're going to find here is an exceptionally well-made game that's accessible, a ton of fun, and contains countless hours of enjoyment. This one is just a classic. First off, spend some time learning the classes. There's 9 to start with, and they're all insanely fun. Gameplay is absolutely fluid, as you would expect from such a seasoned game. Queue times are relatively short, and match length is reasonable. All of the classes seem pretty balanced, all with their distinct advantages and disadvantages. Advancement is pretty simple, it's cosmetic, which is the best kind because looking awesome is great, but it shouldn't impact your game. And this does an excellent job of that. The appeal for TF2 is simply that it's a storied FPS that has literally written the book on what to do right in this genre, and what else could you ask for? Challenges for this game only appear to be that it will take time to get comfortable with each class and learning the strengths and weaknesses of each available one. In conclusion, this is a by far superior game to Dirty Bomb. Well developed, insanely well maintained even after its long history, an unbelievably enjoyable play experience and matches that are fun from beginning to end. Planetside 2 is a large-scale FPS with vehicles and tower defense elements. The game is made by Daybreak, the same people responsible for H1Z1, so take from that what you will. After 2 hours or so in this game, I just felt lost. The overwhelmingly long tutorial for a shooter game with ATVs, tanks, and turrets just seemed way too drawn out. If you've played Star Wars Battlefront, Halo 5's Warzone, or literally any Battlefield game in the last 10 years, this will just feel like a cumbersome exercise in what you already know. Just give me the gun, walk me through the controls quickly, and let's get on with it, right? I don't need a 30-minute introduction into hipfire versus ADS or what sprint and crouch can do for positioning. In 2017, this is just ridiculous. 25 years later, and once my retirement from the North American workforce had been accomplished, I was able to finally get in and play a game that wasn't really a game? There's this weird beginner's game that isn't a real game, more of a staging area until you're ready to deploy into a real game. There's just so much happening at once that when you get into the real game, that the week and a half of tutorial preparation still didn't feel like enough. I gave up. So what do you do first? Evaluate if this game is even for you. Gameplay is solid enough, abilities seem fairly fluid, guns have a nice feel, recoil and tracking patterns are fine. The look of the game is fairly bare, most likely to accommodate the game's sheer scale, which is fine. I either wrecked people outright or got immediately murdered when spawning, so balance is difficult to assess, but from what I could tell, seems pretty well aligned. Matchmaking was also horrible. With only 2,000 active online players, finding a match to play just isn't happening. I can't think of a good replacement for this game. Challenges are that by the time you're ready to play it, if you're like me, you're over it and ready to move on to a game that offers more immediate play. Warframe, to me, is a much better experience in the sci-fi style shooter, so we're going to take a better look at that. Warframe was a challenge for me to return to. I tried it when it first came out and it was just simply awful. Things are very different now. The game has aged very well over the past couple of years. A consistent showing of over 40,000 active players has helped the developer make a pretty appealing, fast-paced offering into the third-person shooter category. What you're doing first is enjoying the incredibly well-built tutorial. Getting comfortable with the controls doesn't take long at all. Then jumping around a few PvE missions to gear up and learn just what you can do here is what you want to put your first few hours into the game. It's enjoyable and doesn't feel grindy at all. Gameplay is snappy. Optimization seems to be where the developers put a lot of resources. The game runs very smoothly no matter what's going on. Each class seems very well balanced against the world and the other two available classes. There isn't a clear winner in any one of them. As far as matchmaking goes, I haven't explored far enough to get into PvP. If you do want to get into the frame v frame action, you simply join a clan, enter a PvP area, and you're all set. Advancement comes in the form of using your weapons. As you use them, you gain weapon levels and they become more powerful. Ability mod trees appear after a few missions, and each mission you complete makes significant progress to the next level. You can definitely feel the power level change when you mod, level, or acquire new stuff. Warframe's appeal is that it's quick, easy to pick up, and a lot of fun to play. Specific challenges that I identified is it can seem a bit clunky at times, but for the majority it's a fun run and gun style game. Definitely give this a shot if you're in the mood for something a little bit different, but still very cool. Paladins is made by Hi-Rez, essentially the free-to-play Blizzard Entertainment, or that's who they're aiming to be anyway. The refreshing thing here is they're very good at being just that. They're making some very appealing games that offer a ton of replayability, short tutorials that get right to it, never-ending daily login rewards, and simply put, the best online communities in all of gaming. I have no idea how they accomplished that feat, but good for them because that's not something we see anymore. Overwatch is easily the game that I favor over Paladins because honestly I'm a massive Blizzard fanboy. However, the levels of toxicity that come with their incredibly popular games rises each year, and they've even had to halt production on the next hero in Overwatch to deal with the issue. Paladins does not have any of these problems. It is now known as a safe haven for gamers. The players of this community, whether on the forums, in those matches, or the like, are the most supportive, welcoming people you will find in a video game. A community like this is worth being a part of no matter how amazing or awful the game is behind it. The case here is that Paladins does a ton of things right. It's accessible, fun, and easy to pick up. Also, like a Blizzard game, you will spend a lifetime mastering it all. Paladins is a hero shooter similar to Overwatch, except entirely different. You have heroes with abilities, yes, but you have card-based loadouts, an item shop like a MOBA, and a mount to get you to the fight. The maps are perfectly symmetrical, meaning that mounts are an essential addition to get you back to the fight after spawn. What you should do first is spend some time in the training area, finding out what kind of hero you want to play. There's so many to choose from and such a large variety, you're going to want to spend some time with those heroes and learn who you like. Expand on that and try some others. There's so much variety here. Hi-Rez, in the same vein as Smite, is adding heroes on a very regular basis, and that's keeping the game really fresh. Just like any other hero shooter on the market, when a new hero comes into the roster, they do feel very strong. Much of this perception is due to people not knowing yet how to deal with them, and that will just take time. Gameplay is absolutely fantastic. Abilities are unique, guns are snappy and responsive, recoil is accurate, every part of the game just feels really good. Heroes definitely feel powerful, but all of them seem balanced for the most part. Matchmaking is stellar, and the game is only growing in popularity with 40,000 players online right now, meaning you'll match up quickly no matter the mode you choose. Matches are stable, and Hi-Rez follows Blizzard again in the philosophy that robust server environments ensure quality gameplay for everyone. Well done. Advancement is handled as you play and level, rewarding cosmetics, new cards, and materials to create new cards. Each day and match win nets you additional gold to make that next hero purchase that much faster. Incentive packages are always being tested, and that's just a great sign because it shows the developer is committed to ensuring the players have access to more and more quickly. The appeal of this game is simply that it's insanely fun, surrounded by great gameplay and wonderful people. The only challenges I find are that you have to progress by playing to unlock all the heroes, not the worst thing in the world to be honest. My conclusion is that Paladins is simply a treat to enjoy. I've really enjoyed my time in it, the most of this week's offerings by far, and I'm very pleased to have found such an amazing community within this jewel of a shooter. Outrageously fun matches that you find quickly, the genuine feeling of power once you master champions, and the best gaming community that's out there, and excellent rewards and infinite customizations through loadouts, cards, and even cosmetics. Give it a shot the very next chance that you get. Well guys, that's going to do it for this week. I realize we went a bit longer than last week, but I also feel that the review portion of the last two videos didn't quite cover enough, and I won't allow for lower quality, so that means we had a lot more to talk about. The standards keep rising, and that's a good thing. We've got 2 more weeks to do for free-to-play September. I hope you enjoyed this week's entry. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.